Flag salute. Let us pray. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for the day, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity you give us in this community. Many blessings you continually pour out upon us as we come to do the business of the city of Newcastle this evening. We pray you lead, guide, and direct us in all things.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2023 meeting.
Upton. Here. Marcy White. Absent.
Item number 3, discussion of possible action on approval of the agenda.
Second.
Motion second for approval of the agenda.
Mike Fullerton.
Yes.
Emily Sutton.
Yes.
Carl Now.
Yes. Item number 4, citizens' comments. This is an opportunity for any citizen to comment on any matter related to the City of Newcastle Public Works that is not on the agenda. I remind any potential speakers that all speakers shall clearly state their name and address for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person with only one speaking opportunity. Board members will not respond to comments or questions. The chair may end comment period at his discretion, and prior authorization is required for distribution of materials or to approach the board. Is there any public comment concerning City of Newcastle Public Works at this time? Seeing none, we'll move to item number 5, consent agenda. Are there any items any member of the board request to be removed from the consent agenda and addressed individually? Seeing none,
I would like to remove budget amendments 2404, just kind of explain a couple of things on that.
I'll make a motion for approval of the consent agenda minus item number E.
A second.
Motion second for approval of the consent agenda as amended.
Mike Fullerton.
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton.
Yes.
Carl Now.
Yes. Item number 6, discussion of possible action on any items removed from the consent agenda. Item number 5E, budget amendments, number 24-04.
This budget amendment that Jeannie has put together for us includes a change order requested for the fire station construction. It did not come to us quick enough to actually put it on the agenda. Well, you sent that to council members in the.
I passed it out tonight.
Okay,
The-
okay.
The change order.
Well, the change order is 87,000 and in many different things. Station, there was a lot of things that money was saved on, and then there were things that we had to add back for other items. So it is in this budget amendment for that change order, and we will bring the change order to council in November, the actual change order itself, for ratification. But the company, Bingo, needs to move forward with a lot of these items to at least get them ordered or whatever it may be, to get them on their way.
Any questions, comments? I'll make a motion for approval of number 5E, budget amendments.
Second.
Motion second for approval of budget amendments.
Mike Fullerton.
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton.
Yes.
Carl Now.
Yes. Item number 7, discussion of possible action on award of bid, authorization to enter into contract, and issuance of notice to proceed for citywide AMA water meter system.
We received the bids, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, when the bids were turned in. Metron, low bidder, just a little over 3.368. That includes installation. And there were 2 total bids that we actually received. That's all we received.
We have a recommendation from Brenda.
Yes.
$1,612 units.
Yes. And I think there may even be just a few more than that.
Okay. It's, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
What was the original estimate?
It was roughly 3 million, or maybe just a little shy. It came in a little higher than what was expected.
Questions?
What is our recommendation on this one?
Metron Fournier,
Metro funding.
Do we need to give the bid price?
You should have gotten the bid tab and the recommendation. Yeah.
Page 12.
yeah, 3368,775.
And this is what's being financed by OWRB.
Okay. Well, see it right there. Oh, okay. Make a motion that we accept the bid.
Metron
Metron
Fournier.
Panya.
Motion second for approval of bid. Metron Fournier.
Sorry.
Okay.
Mike,
Yes.
Yes. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on approval to solicit and enter into financing for purchase of real property located in the northwest quarter, section 23, 9 North, 4 West, in Meridian, McLean County, Oklahoma.
We would like to go ahead and solicit financing for the property. City approved, or council approved us working on a contract for at the special meeting, I believe it was, that we had.
Did everything come in on the contract the way that the city had hoped?
Yeah, yes, the contract is fine.
Okay.
It's, Jeff has looked at it for us as well.
Okay.
It has been signed by the mayor and sent back to the broker for the owners. Have we received that back already?
No, it was made.
Okay,
yeah, I sent it priority. That
Okay.
today was the earliest it could get there.
okay.
Was it approved by all parties, or is this just preliminary pre-approval financing?
The financing will come back to you on the agenda for approval. This is
Oh, no,
just,
I meant the contract. Did everybody agree to it, all parties?
Yes.
Yes, it hasn't been signed yet, but it has been agreed to, yes. The owner signatures will be obtained this week, I would anticipate.
Yeah.
I motion to approve item number 8.
I'll second.
Motion second for approval of item number 8.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Now.
Yes. Item number 9, monthly treasurer's report.
As of the end of September, we are a third of the way through our fiscal year, so that puts us at around 24. We're hoping to be executed around 25%. We have 5 departments on the city side that are running ahead of that 25%. Part of it is leftover from last month's financials, so we really don't have any concerns about those 5. Overall, the city side is executing within that 25%, only at 25.6%. On the NPWA side, all the departments finished within their range, so everything is good on. Fire department tax fund raised over 337,000. We have spent 527,000. And our ARPA money, we finally received the animal control truck. So that first half that you guys approved us to buy that equipment and vehicles with has been expended. We're on the second half, we spent 204,000, almost 205,000. We did get the invoice for the LiDAR fee, so that has now been paid for as well. So as of right now, the only plans we have for that is the civil and environmental, and so you guys vote to spend project. We have paid 7 draws to the fire station at almost 3.4 million. 6 draws to Navajo for the animal shelter, almost a little over $1 million. And we have had our first draw that we paid for the wastewater plant at almost 400. Sales and use tax came in at almost 893,000. 755 of that was sales, with 138,000 that being the use tax. At this point in the year, that puts us at 11.8% higher than we budgeted to be. That puts us at 8.5% higher than the same point last year, and 14.1% higher than we were in FY21. Our indebtedness, of course, I've grown with the projects we got going on, so it's a little over $8.1 million. The grant funds we received in the month of September included $2,301 for the Department of Public Safety. That is the grant that our police officers use they do overtime to help ensure the safety of our streets. We get money from the Department of Oklahoma Safety. Brief rundown of our city balances. General fund has 2.5 million. Capital improvement has 2.7 million. Economic development is 35,000. Cemetery care fund 71,000. Parks capital improvement 143,000. Fire station is 2.9. Admin and technology is 213. Grant cost share is 2.6. Transportation impact fee fund is 165,000. On the other side of the house, Public Works has 2.6 million. Water impact fee 1.4. Wastewater impact fee 694,000. And our wastewater plant fund now has $6.7 million. And the meter fund has a little over 66,000. I wanted to explain something really quickly because Kevin asked me about this last time. When I reported to you guys in August, there was only $4,000 or $6,000 in it. That one occurs as people pay their bill. So that account builds up. Some people pay, throughout the month, and then we'll have a mass pay on the 10th when the bills are due. So that's why it might look a little funny when it went from 4,000 to 66,000. Just depends on when people get their bills done. All of our funds combined, we have 415,000 more in revenue than expenses. Total fund balance is almost $23 million. Are there any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jeannie. Item number 10, general manager's comments.
Our crews continue to work on the sewer plant out there because of the odor. They determined that we had a total kill on the good bacteria in our basins. Whatever reason, spoke with Wall Engineering about it as well, and the gentleman that we actually just hired that has ran into this once before, both of them said that most likely there could have been a septic hauler that actually dumped into one of our manholes that caused the total kill. All engineering said it's either the septic hauler or, well, we don't have industrial waste here. I mean, there is a potential that some good bacteria to kill the bad bacteria. So they did put some measures in place that Wall Engineering recommended. Surprisingly, the odor has gotten a lot better through the center of town here, so they're not done with it. They still have to do a lot of sludge removal out of the basins and things of that nature, but they continue to work on it, and hopefully we don't have this issue again, because it was pretty bad for about 3 years. So
Are there any measures to stop somebody else from dumping into it?
It'd be really difficult because we have so many manholes located throughout the center of town and then down toward the Oaks. If a company was dumping late evening, early in the morning, anytime during the day, unless somebody reports that, it's going to be very difficult for us to know about it. That's all I have, man.
All righty. Item number 11, any trustee comments? Item number 12 is adjournment.
Make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Motion second for adjournment. All in favor say aye.
All right.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. This time I'll call the October 10th, 2023 meeting of the Newcastle City Council to order. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Carl Nell,
Here.
Mike Fullerton,
Here.
Jean Reed, absent. Kimberly Sutton,
Here.
Marcy White, absent.
Item number 2, discussion and possible action on approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion second for approval of the agenda.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 3 is citizens' comments. This is an opportunity for any citizen to comment on any matter related to the city of Newcastle that is not on the agenda. I remind any potential speakers that all speakers shall clearly state their name and address for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person with only one speaking opportunity. Council members will not respond to comments or questions. The mayor may end comment period at his discretion, and prior authorization is required for distribution of materials or to approach the council. This time, is there any public comment concerning the city of Newcastle? All right. Item number 4, consent agenda. Is there any item any member of council requests be removed from the consent agenda and dealt with individually? Seeing none, item number 4, consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion second for approval of the consent agenda.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 5, discussion and possible action on any items removed from the consent agenda. Be no action on that agenda item. Item number 6, discussion and possible action on recommendation to the Planning Commission. Item 6A, public hearing, discussion and possible action on Planning Commission recommendation for conditional use permit for a commercial disposal well for Patsy Ann McMahon, trustee of the Juanita Griffith Family Trust, Charter Oak Production Company LLC, for the Juanita Saltwater Disposal Number 1, located in the southwest quarter of Section 27, Township 9 North, Range 4 West, Indian Meridian, McLean County, Oklahoma. Property address approximately 1/2 mile west of the intersection of Southwest 24th Street and US 62, then north on Leach Road and right at the Y to the existing location, Newcastle, Oklahoma. Case number UPOR 2023-013. This item has not been dealt with by the Corporation Commission. The applicant has requested a continuance, so I will make a motion we continue this item to the next regularly scheduled meeting. Motion second for continuance.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 6B, approval of final plat of Newcastle Farms, Phase 1.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joel Dixon, the interim city engineer for the city of Newcastle. Newcastle Farms is almost 70-acre development located just south of our new fire station. The PUD and the preliminary plat were both approved by City Council last year in August. We will have drainage and detention for this development, which will reduce runoff by approximately 7% compared to pre-development conditions. This will be accomplished across 3 ponds. 2 of them will be on-site for this phase of development, and 1 of them will be off-site. The northeast, southeast, and north ponds are the 3 ponds that we are that will be constructed with this phase. The existing north pond will be modified so that it will provide additional detention, and it will reduce the stormwater flows north into Newcastle Heights addition by approximately 11%. The flows towards Pedris development to the south will be reduced by approximately 10% after being intercepted and discharged through the southeast pond. And there are plans to actually intercept the flows from the southwest corner of this development so that it will not flow south into Pedris, but will instead be intercepted by a drainage flume and conveyed north to the north pond. Approximately 1,084 feet of offsite sanitary sewer line will be constructed to service both this development and our fire station number 1 that's currently under construction. The project engineer just informed me that they have sent that out to bid for construction, and they expect their crews to mobilize in December for that. So entered into a joint agreement with the contractor, or excuse me, with the developer, so that we will share some of the costs to bring that sanitary sewer over to service both our fire station, and then they will the rest of the costs for their development. Water is already existing across or along Main Street. They will tap in, the development will tap into the existing 12-inch water line on the east side of Main Street using 2 taps that will bring water into the development. There will also be an off-site continuation to the west for approximately 340 feet that will tie into an existing dead-end 6-inch water line that's along South Dickerson Avenue, and that will improve water service for the customers in that neighborhood. Developers have decided to work with us and work with the city to help improve some of our water system and water service. If you scroll down to the next page,
Oh,
you get a good picture of
the
the
next one
so
after.
one more page.
okay.
That
There it goes.
You'll get a good picture
Okay, there you
of the final plat. Planning Commission recommended approval of this final plat at the end of last month on the 25th of September with a vote of 5-0. They did have some comments that I do want to highlight. They had 3 primary concerns during their meeting. One was the height of the flume walls along storm sewer F, which was again that runs along the south portion in the southwest corner here to convey stormwater here. They also had some concerns over the reverse curves at the 2 entrances onto Main. As you can see here, we have some reverse curves. They also were concerned about the ability for this west access road here tying into South Dickerson to accommodate our emergency vehicles. So the storm sewer, that flume in the southwest corner, its cross section will have flume walls that are anywhere from 6 inches high to 3 feet high, and that is because don't have a good picture. Show you something. So if you were to look at it in cross section, on the south side, which is the side, the Pedris side, it will be 6 inches high, and then you'll have the flume, which is 4 feet wide, and then it will be 6 inches up to 3 feet on the north side of the flume, and then on top of that, you will have your yard fencing. So
Nobody will fall off the edge of the thing.
correct. 3 feet is below the 4 feet requirement. If anything taller than 4 feet would require engineered plans. 3 feet is below that requirement.
And what was the height on the?
6 inches to 3 feet.
Okay.
Yes, sir. The second issue with our code requires 100 feet tangent length of 100 feet between S curves. Well, there's only one S curve here. South entrance. On both tangents, the leading and is a line segment here. C2, but that line segment is not considered a tangent. It's part of the reverse curve. And then finally, the Planning Commission were concerned about vehicle tracking. If you scroll, actually the page shows the vehicle, but this is the actual vehicle tracking report. Tracks without any issues there. And of course, that's to be expected, given that the streets were designed according to our standards, which effectively. Yes, sir.
What's the grades like coming up? Like that picture? Yeah. We're saying that the tiny pages here, correct?
That's up against it.
Yes, and I do, there is, Brad Reed, the engineer for the development is here. If,
I can answer. Yeah, you know, questions for me on that one. That the vehicle track picture actually shows that area pretty
Okay.
well. Do you want to go back?
Do you want me to
that
go
one?
back?
Yeah,
Well, okay.
I can show. It's this flume here. So this is
Oh,
the
okay.
flume. You can see it in here, and then kind of high through this section. There's a little bit of water that's coming off the back of these. Pick that water up. This individual built a run, pulling some. Stuff. So we didn't want water going there at all. So it's not much. It's just these back of yards, but pick that up. This gets low enough so that it. And then we did do a retaining wall there too. We had grades about 4 to 1. So putting that retaining wall in there puts you where you're about 10-12% instead of 25%. So that's why the retaining wall, the flume was going to be there anyway, and the retaining wall just helps with the backyard.
I was just worried about the slope coming out off the back.
So yeah, it was about 4 to 1, but with the wall in there, it puts it about 10-12%, which is.
And we used urban, I'm assuming we used urban in our drainage calcs.
Yes, it's designed to handle that. Again, it's a 4-foot flume that
Yeah.
it doesn't need to really be that big. It's a small area. We should have minimum 4 foot. That way it doesn't have any sort of blockage or anything like that. But it handles it with yes at the 100 years, so no water. And everything else falls back onto us into our addition. Nothing goes south except in that area. So that's why.
Any questions for the city engineer? Your public comment concerning this agenda item? All right. Thank you, Joe. Presentation. Any questions or concerns about the final plat?
So even with those concerns, the planning development committee, they approved it, even with those concerns.
Recommended approval, yes.
As long as they correct those.
Or not corrected necessarily, but they had concerns, like all of those, there weren't corrections. They just had to demonstrate, like with the traffic flow, that it could flow the emergency vehicles, and the concerns about the tangents were not applicable because they meet our requirements. I'll entertain a motion then.
Motion to approve item 6B.
Second.
Motion second for approval of item number 6B.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 6C, approval of recommendation for revisions to final plat of Coachella, section 4 paving and drainage improvements.
Good evening again. Joel Dixon, interim city engineer. So this is a somewhat unique situation. Pachella, the final plat for Pachella Section 4 was brought before this body back in July of 2022 and was approved by a vote of 5-0. The applicant's contractor, however, constructed the drainage infrastructure according to plans that had not actually been approved by city staff or this body. So this error was discovered during a site inspection that I made back in July. And we have since then been working with the developer and the developer's engineer to try and solve this situation. So he has actually installed infrastructure that doesn't meet the plans that were approved, but more importantly, B, doesn't meet our ordinance requirements. So we went through the analysis to see if perhaps what was installed could have worked. It doesn't even come close. So we're working to find a solution that doesn't require the removal of all of the grading and the paving that has already been installed in order to get the drainage infrastructure in and still meet our requirements. The solution that the engineer and developer have come up with that has been reviewed by staff and is recommended for approval does not meet our ordinance standards and requires a couple of variances. But these variances that are requested do meet other standards found throughout the state or nationally, and do meet engineering best practice. So the two variances that are requested, one is a variance to section 153.089, paragraph E3. Our ordinance requires that all enclosed storm sewers maintain open channel flow, which is a very conservative design standard. They could not meet that standard, but they can achieve pipe flow. So the difference between open channel flow and pipe flow, in pipe flow, your pipe is full. So the water's touching all of the surfaces inside the pipe. Open channel flow, you've got a gap at the top where the water doesn't touch the top of the pipe. All right, so it flows the same as it would if it was an open channel. The design that they are putting forward that we recommend approval meets ODOT standards. ODOT allows for pipe flow in their culvert designs. This design meets all ODOT standards, no problem. Again, it doesn't meet our code, but it does meet ODOT's requirements. So we recommend that variance. The second variance that's required is for section 153.089, paragraph E12. This is our requirement in our code for a minimum of 2 feet of cover above the top of all storm sewer pipes. So that's as measured from the top of the pipe to the top of the pavement. Unfortunately, because they have already completed all of their paving and we're requiring them to increase the size and the number of pipes underneath the pavement, they don't have enough space vertically to fit those pipes with 2 feet of cover, but they can get 1 foot of cover. So the American Association of State Highway Transportation Officials, AASHTO, which is a national standards making organization, they require a minimum of 1 foot of cover over the top of rigid pipe when it's under flexible pavement, which is the case we have here. We have reinforced concrete pipe underneath asphalt pavement, and all of the pipes will meet that minimum of 1 foot standard. The variance we're requesting is, again, meets AASHTO standards, just doesn't meet. One thing of note, all of the paving and drainage infrastructure for Pachella 4 is private. So none of this infrastructure will actually be dedicated to the city for city ongoing maintenance and repair. But we do want to ensure that the infrastructure that's installed meets health, safety, welfare standards and also meets engineering best practice. Based on the design that they have put forward with these variances, I feel comfortable that the meet engineering best practices and that they serve the residents of Pachela. The Planning Commission, there was a little bit of confusion. I will take responsibility. The original staff report that I prepared was perhaps got a little realities based on watching the video from Planning Commission. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be at the Planning Commission meeting due to schedule conflicts. Our Planning Community Development Director did a very good job of trying to convey the technical situation as best as she could. But based on reviewing the video, I rewrote the staff report in an effort to improve clarity and understanding. I hope that this evening, but I'm happy to field any questions.
So can I ask, or are you gonna ask?
No, go ahead.
So with regard to changes, because they don't meet the city's requirements, do you feel as though even though they don't meet the city's requirements, it's still gonna have proper for the residents?
Yes, ma'am. So it will still drain. It will convey the 100-year flows without any problems. It's just our drainage ordinance is actually very conservative, which is probably a good thing, especially as we see some of the effects of climate change and we see rain events going forward. But it also leaves us some wiggle room for situations like this where we can still safely and adequately convey these flows, meeting engineering best practices, meeting standards from other jurisdictions or other organizations that set forth these engineering standards.
With it being a private road, you said it was private infrastructure?
Yes, ma'am. The paving and the drainage infrastructure is all private, so it will be managed by the HOA.
Okay.
All right. Alrighty, public comment concerning this agenda item. Appreciate it, Joel. It's very well documented staff report, and I appreciate that. Very easy to understand. All right, now we'll entertain a motion.
I motion to approve item 6C.
I'll second.
Motion second for approval of item number 6C.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 7, discussion of possible action on acceptance of proposal for engineering services for North Country Club Road, widening proposal between Northwest 32nd Street and Northwest 24th Street. Civil and Environmental Consultants, Inc. and Crafton Toll and Associates, Inc.
We solicited proposals for the engineering widening of Country Club, and we received a proposal from CEC and one from Crafton Toll. Both of these proposals are very, very comparable with each other, both coming from two very good engineering firms type work, and we have worked past these 4 new. Looking at the cost of engineering that submitted, CEC comes in at $289,080. Crafton Toll comes in at $316,167. However, there are some variables to consider in both of these proposals. Environmental and geotech is 2 items that was added by Crafton Toll if necessary. So with these items, if these items are not needed and they're removed from proposal, then you get a cost of $263,478. And on the side of CEC, there are variable costs in the proposal presented by CEC that could very well lower the total cost of their proposal, and things that the city can obviously opt to lessen as far as the number of meetings that we have and things of that nature, which could go both ways for either CEC or for Craft and Toll. So basically, I mean, we have two proposals here that are, like I said, are very, very comparable. And they could go either way. Either proposal could go up a little bit if certain things are needed, more of a certain thing is needed, or both proposals could be reduced to some degree. Construction administration for the Craft and Toll proposal, there is not a number given in that line item. Basically, Craft and Toll would, rather than put a number in there, they would rather meet with us and discuss exactly what the city would want as far as construction management of this project, because we plan on having our street department do all of the dirt work on this project. Of course, then our asphalt overlay, or not overlay, but construction would be contracted out on a day rate basis with a company that the city has worked with many, many times. And typically our street department oversees the asphalt, laying of the asphalt and things of that nature. The only thing that would really need to be considered is curb and gutter. Construction administration, we would want the engineering firm to make sure that that's being done correctly. Our crews are not curb and gutter construction people, so that they really would not want to tackle that at all. And then, of course, anything that has to do with the drainage on this, where the flumes are located that would come off of this into open ditches. There's also a drain box that's underneath Country Club that would have to be removed and then replaced, potentially with a new box underneath. So there is some construction administration there that would take place. However, that can be controlled, I would assume, with either of these firms. So again, just looking at the cost black and white on what is on each proposal. We have one for $289,080 from CEC. We have Craft and Toll at $316.7. 167, I'm sorry.
So does staff have a recommendation?
I went over both of these proposals myself last week several times, looking at these, and then I went over it today with our interim city engineer. I think staff's recommendation on this would be CEC on this project. And both of these firms are represented here tonight if council has any questions.
They're both very well respected and both do us a great job. So they're both providing proposals.
Estimated cost of construction for this project.
We're probably looking somewhere between 3.5 and 4 million.
Guessing, but I was hoping.
Well, I believe, and of course, that's today's numbers.
Yeah, tomorrow could be different.
Engineering on this project, I believe, is, both firms, I think, are fairly close to somewhere between 12 and 18 months to get this all engineered. And that includes working with ODOT at 37 and Country Club, and for the signalization, which they would have to get approvals from ODOT on the different aspects of that intersection. It's understandable. Total project time just to engineer would be.
I know we have our electricity out of NPWA, but we have other utilities that may be.
We would have to move our water line on the west side of Country Club. It would have to be moved back. I believe there's also, I'm not real sure if Pioneer got if they relocated their fiber and phone. I'm not positive. Pretty sure they did fiber on the west side, but we would have to check into it. But there's a possibility it would have to be relocated as well. The only other, and of course, I believe we do have gas mains going down through there.
We're getting new ones.
Yeah, so something that we would have to work with the
Which
company.
luckily the new ones are outside of the city easement. They acquired the easement prior to them putting the new line outside our 120-foot right away.
But is our crossing is going to be in, there was a crossing right there at 24th and gas line crossing underneath.
They have to deal with counties. There's 2 high pressure gas lines up north towards 37 as well. They'll have to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Especially since they're new.
CEC's, at least in their deal, calls all that stuff out in there. And gas lines.
It's going in right now. Along 24th Street, of the road, they're crossing underneath.
Mhm.
Off the boat. I don't know if they bored that underneath there yet or not.
Is that it on the north side of 24th?
Uh-huh. They're on Odom's property right now, in his white fence.
Oh, yes. That still, now, except for going underneath Country Club, the easements, it will be out of the easement.
Right, I just don't want our drainage to get caught up in that gas line.
No, I don't think it would. I mean, it's something we'll have to work through as we get to that point, but
They need to make sure they're deep.
Yeah.
Because if not, it could cost us head over. Especially them being in the easement.
Any public comment concerning this agenda item? Questions of staff? Any motion?
Recommendation CEC. Make a motion to approve contract for CEC. $289,080. 289,080.
Motion second for approval of item number 7, selecting CEC. proposal at 289,080.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on award of bid, authorization to enter into contract and issuance of notice to proceed for Eunice Avenue drainage system improvements.
We received several bids on this project for the drainage system on Eunice Street, Eunice Avenue. Hook Construction is the recommended contractor from our, at a cost of just over $180,000. That is the construction company being recommended.
188.94.
How much, Jeannie?
$180,894.
Okay, so 181,000 roughly. So basically, once the drainage has been put in place for this project, our street department will go back in and do the stabilization of Eunice, the tear out of asphalt and stabilization, and then this will go out to bid once again for curb and gutter. And once curb and gutter is done, then we'll perform the asphalt will be laid on the day rate schedule. This is the way that we came up with to save a lot of cost on this project versus $980,000. I think we should come in. I still think we should come in probably around 450 to 500,000. We cut it in half. And we had actually budgeted this year, I believe it was 650,000 for this project. So by doing it this way, save some money.
That's good. Need the money.
Yes. Staff would recommend also Hook Construction for this.
Construction, okay. Any public comment concerning this agenda item? Entertain a motion?
I motion to approve agenda item 8 for a Hook contractor, $180,894.
I'll second.
Motion second for approval of item number 8, selecting Hook Contracting, or Hook Construction LLC.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 9, discussion of possible action on award of bid, authorization to enter into contract, and the issuance of notice to proceed for citywide AMA water meter system.
Same as the Public Works agenda item. Metron Farm.
Make a motion to approve Metro as the relation of the
Second.
Motion second for approval of item number 9, selecting Metron Farnier.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item 10, discussion of possible action on city council confirmation of mayor's nomination of planning commission members. Item 10A, reappointment of Carl Evans to serve through March 2026. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion second for reappointment of Carl Evans.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item 10B, appointment of Keith Cleghorn to serve through March 2026, and I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion second for appointment of Keith Cleghorn to serve through March 2026.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. I will note that Mr. Cleghorn will be replacing Dennis Sanders, a long time member, planning commission, who has indicated he's kind of done his duties. So he's been a great member of the planning commission for a long time, and I appreciate the service he's given to the city. We're going to miss him. Item number 11, discussion of possible action on abatement of nuisance for tall grass, weeds, trash, and refuse on property located at 3391 North Meridian. Shirley Pruitt.
It appears that this issue has been resolved by the property owner.
Being no action on that agenda item, item number 12, discussion of possible action on approval of project maintenance agreement with Oklahoma Department of Transportation for federal aid program project number NHPPI-3500-154 job piece number 1931404, for the installation of multiple traffic signals at the I-35 and State Highway 9 interchange and State Highway 9 and Harvey Street 12th Avenue intersection.
So this item has to do with the signalization that is going to be installed eventually when the I-35 Highway 9 interchange is completed as part of that project. It was discussed at least 12 months to 18 months ago in a meeting with ODOT and Goldsby and just different parties that have interest in this project down there as to who would be responsible for the maintenance of the signalization, the signal lights, which there will be many at this location. And it was agreed upon that basically Newcastle and Goldsby would split the maintenance cost and repairs, whatever it may be, on those signal lights based on south side, north side of Highway 9. Because we go to the right-of-way line on the south side of the road, and then Goldsby picks up from there. Right now, Newcastle historically has taken care of all of the signalization that surrounds that area. Really don't believe that that is quite fair for us to have to take on all of that cost. So I did speak with ODOT about this last week and told them Newcastle is certainly willing to be responsible for the signalization on the north side of 9 and the, potentially the east and westbound lights as well that are on Highway 9 in our jurisdiction we're responsible for. They rewrote this. I got them to rewrite it, send it to us to where we are responsible now for those lights that will be on the north side, and then the lights that are in the highway until you cross over to the east side of the bridge. Once you get past the middle of the bridge going east, all of that is Goldsby's, and traditionally that has been Goldsby's. But we took care of everything across the bridge, but now we won't. I think we come out ahead on this. Hopefully keeps our maintenance cost, the repair cost that we have down there now, keeps at the same level or reduces it to some.
We just have the maintenance portion of it. We don't have any installation cost.
No installation, just
I
maintenance.
just want to make clear of that.
Yeah. Oh,
I think that sounds good.
Well, we've kind of got the short end of the stick, like Kevin says, on with other communities around with multiple jurisdictions. 9 and 62, we take care of all those lights, even though one side of that is actually in Blanchard city limits. And so we trying to do a better job of making sure we take care of everything. Things we're not supposed to.
Okay. Do we-
Ready for a motion?
I motion to approve item number 12. Your cost.
I'll second.
Motion second for approval of item number 12.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 13, city manager's comments.
There was something I was going to comment on. I forgot what it was now. After talking through all this. What was it? I don't have any comments.
You don't have any
Not
comments?
this time.
What?
Man.
One thing. Into here because there was an item that was supposed to be removed.
What's that?
That would have been item 4I.
Oh, okay.
should have been removed from the consent agenda with no action taken on it. There was some slight errors made on the legal that needs to be corrected before.
There can be a motion to reconsider that because the meeting's not adjourned.
Okay.
Consider item 4 to remove item I. Somebody wants to.
Make a motion that we reconsider item 4 consent agenda to remove item I at this time.
Motion second for revisit of item number 4, removing item number 4I.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Kimberly Sutton,
Yes.
Carl Nell.
Yes. Anything else?
That's it.
Item number 14, council members' comments. All right. 15 is adjournment. Motion second for adjournment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.